Hello, guys. This is Dr. Lior Bar-El. Be sure to tune in for the next mini series after the How to Build a Computer. I'm gonna be, a gaming computer for the cheap. That's obviously every Sunday. I'm reviewing parts for the computer, and then I'm gonna show you guys how to build it. A gaming computer on the cheap on a mini series. Be sure to check out how I'm gonna show you how to build your own helmet from a 3D printer from beginning to end. I'm also adding extras, which is how to give a weathered effect and so on and so forth. So let me just go. Let me put this away right now. Let me just. Oh boy, here we go. So, today we're going to talk about something that is a big issue right now that's happening. Already, two people that are very, very popular in the Nintendo Switch hacking scene have got their accounts banned online. Okay, so now this shouldn't come as a big surprise that Nintendo is doing it, but Nintendo right now is actually banning any type of hacking activity. Now, I'm going to tell you there's some things I agree with and things I don't. Okay, the thing is, right now, due to their, bricking issues that happen after the update and all of that things, I am actually before, and you remember I said in the video, I don't really approve of hacking for a simple reason that free games will come out, and then before you know it, the system goes out of business, like the Dreamcast went out of business once they discovered the exploit, or what do you call it? The PSP started going out of business as well. It's pretty much a system life ender, and it's horrible that it's usually out. Now, if it was released for homebrew games like emulators and so far and so forth, I totally approve of it. I totally like it. And also, in terms of custom firmware, I would totally be for it. In this case, Nintendo kind of screwed their customers, like I told you guys before, who, based on my investigation, I told you guys, and you could check everywhere and you'll see, the only ones that are getting their Nintendo Switches bricked are people that got it, whether it be from launch date or close to launch date. Everybody like myself and others who purchased it later are not having any issues with bricking so far. Just like they didn't have any issues till that stupid update came out and it bricked. And to all you fanboys that say, oh, well, it's the wires you use and blah, blah, blah. Well, I find it funny that what you're saying, especially me, that I understand technology. I know how to build drones. I know how to build computers. I know everything there is to know about technology. I studied it very, very hard. Enough to tell you that it is bullcrap. As I told you, the only reason these overloading things happen is not because suddenly the wire is gone bad or let's say the docking station, something happened. It's so funny that none of these issues happened till Nintendo released their update. Okay, and when you play something like that, you cannot expect a backlash not to occur. It's gonna occur. Someone is gonna fund it. Someone out there is gonna say, "Here, hackers, come out with custom firmware." And also, like I said, the Nintendo quality control is almost like non-existent, as you can see with the release of WWE 2K18. What a joke that was, just to make money for that. And I know a lot of people are blaming 2K, which I am too, and blaming WWE, which they shouldn't, because WWE just said, "Can you do it?" and they paid for a service. The service screwed them over. That's not really WWE's fault, but it is 2K's fault. But ultimately, which had Blind Squirrel work on it, which do the worst ports ever, but it is ultimately Nintendo's fault for giving the green light, for allowing their customers to be ripped off by crappy games. And then on top of that, to release firmware like this that are bashing the actual system. And what's funny is it's not even the foreign docs, because there are people, and you could look at forums, that are reporting even on Nintendo sealed docks, their system is getting screwed. Okay, where they do other ways of resetting it. Now, as I told you, it looks like it really is resetted, because a lot of the people that got it back on warranty are having it returned, and it's the same exact system with the same exact chip, from what they can understand, what they were saying. So I think it's just kind of trips something and resets it, and only they can, make it resurrect it again. The only problem is if it actually does burn out or whatever, you're screwed with the saves. So again, no saving options, and everybody in technology knows you do not release an update at all until there's some kind of backup source, some kind of way that you can get everything back. And since they don't have any saves that can save your saves, all these hours that you put into your games will be lost forever. And I know many people, and you could see them in forums as well, that are selling their Switch because they had enough. The thing is, they're releasing a revision 3, which really is the revision, revision 2, which really is the revision 3. As the revision 2 clearly shows that we are not getting our systems bricked, the people who bought it later, which I believe might change. Obviously, with another update, they can screw that up too. But you can clearly see that they have an exploit. And again, their quality control, any idiot in technology that knows about the Tegra chip, they know it already. This is way before the Nintendo Switch. The Tegra chip has an exploit. Now, instead of Nintendo saying, well, why don't you custom make a Tegra chip closing everything, which they're going to do in the revision 2, but it really is revision 3. They didn't do that, and they just released the Switches, and guess what? Now we have hardware that can be hacked, okay, which is probably a good thing considering what they're doing right now, what Nintendo is doing. So, basically, in a nutshell, what happened was they came out because it's so easy to exploit. People put Linux on it, and now there's emulators actually working on it. Granted, it's not all there yet. There's some games that are running extremely slow, even like Donkey Kong Country on Super Nintendo. But also, there once you reset it, you have to do it again, and this whole process all over again. So it kind of is a little. It's the beginning stages. And that's why I told you this Nintendo Switch is going to be worth a lot, like the original PlayStation Vita and like my original PSP, which I'm going to get for you here. My original PSP, which was worth way more because you can hack it where other ones, when they started releasing revisions, you can't anymore. Okay, and that is the issue that's happening with Nintendo. So now you have people that got screwed, and they're saying, you know what, we will invest in donating to the hacking team because we want custom firmware. We want saves, which, by the way, is now functional. And once you hack your systems, there's also ways that you can back up your saves. Okay, so you get all of these things that Nintendo doesn't want to add. You finally get that working. And a lot of people, especially that are using their Switch and bought it in launch date and all that, are investing in these hackers, and they're telling them, please come out with a way to fix this issue that I can just like roll back or something like that, the firmware, and it's being worked on, obviously, that they're not going to be bricking their systems. So you see, that is the whole thing. The hackers really here are the heroes. They're saving us from Nintendo's real stupidity and shady practices. The thing is, at the same time, Nintendo is an awesome company. I love it. I had it since 1988, since it first came out. Yes, I'm a geezer. I'm 38 years old, and I love the Nintendo company, and I love the Nintendo games. But we all know that this goes on for any system. As you can see, at least they don't ditch their people like Sony did with the PlayStation Vita. When I got the Vita, and then suddenly they abandoned it completely because they're idiots, and they said, cell phones have the same games, so we don't need to make it. So stupid. Anybody knows that that this was actually such high potential for this system, such high potential. This was like the Nintendo Switch of back in the day, okay, which wasn't that far away. And I'm going to get into that also because right now there's things that are happening with this system that people need to know as well before jumping on board. But I hope the hacking community actually fixes a lot of things by enabling you to play things like PlayStation 2 and so on and so forth, but we'll get into that in another video. The thing is, this is why Nintendo is getting this kind of backlash from the hacking community. Yes, probably the hackers would have came out with something to begin with. I mean, there's an exploit. But if they actually had quality control, games like WWE 2K18 would have never existed. They would have waited till the next year. Also, on top of that, there wouldn't be any bricking issues. There wouldn't be anything. Because guess what? They wouldn't have to worry about hackers at all. Now, for a lot of you guys that are blaming Nintendo now, you got to understand they're banning people from online. Now, they're not really the cavaliers in this. They have done, many systems have done it before. If you remember the PlayStation 3, they actually banned people. Xbox 360 banned people immediately. And of course, the PS Vita, the PlayStation Vita, once you hacked the system, they wouldn't even let you go to the online stores to buy any games, which, by the way, is what's happening on the Switch. And then, of course, what happens is once you do that, they come out with custom firmware that'll basically let you, like, sort of like, what was it called, Cydia on the iPhone when you jailbreak it. So you had a way to go into your own version of a store. Which the hackers released, which they are working on, from what I'm hearing, and what I was reading about, what I was thinking about as well. And it's funny, it's coming to fruition here. But they're releasing now a way that you can get an online store, because they're obviously going to be blocking you from online. Now, do I blame Nintendo for it? Absolutely not on this end, because every system has done that before. They're just protecting their product. They're protecting their thing. They don't want to see free games being downloaded like on Cydia and all these other things, the jailbroken devices and whatever. They don't want to see you going into stores and downloading their actual solid games, which is horrible, because you know what's going to happen in the end. What's going to happen in the end is they're going to be getting all these games free. These guys in the third-party development team are gonna ditch Nintendo. Nintendo's already walking on eggshells. For that to happen, they're gonna say, well, we're not gonna have that much money. We don't know what we're gonna do. Now, granted, not everyone is gonna be hacking their Nintendo Switch. I, of course, 3D printed that thing just to see if it works, and it works. But not many people want to screw around with it. Okay, so it's funny, because before they said not many people want to bend their pins, and now they came out with ways you could print in Thingiverse the actual unit, and then you just put a pin in there and it works, and you don't have to worry about bending anything. So some people are, some people won't do it. It depends. I personally have it. I really don't care much for it unless there's emulation. Now, I understand Nintendo got a lot to protect here. They're not just protecting their Nintendo Switch. They're protecting their Nintendo emulator, their Super Nintendo emulator, which these idiots... Again, they got backlash because these idiots in Nintendo have no idea what research is. If they researched it, they'd know that the Virtual Console was 100% wanted by the majority of the people. But of course, they didn't want to release it, because why should they, right? Because it doesn't... And I told you it wasn't going to come out. I told you they were going to give up on it, because I already started seeing games being re-released. And I'm talking about Nintendo or Super Nintendo, or like old games like Mario Arcade or whatever. But they're released in the market. Their market is so unorganized, you can't even know what's a third-party game and what's an independent game. It's like so bonkers. It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. But the thing is, that Virtual Console should have made, and I knew that this was going to happen when Sega said, well, we're not waiting on you, we're releasing Sega Ages. So here's my thing. So Nintendo is protecting Sega, which is a third-party developer, because now they're thinking of working on Dreamcast. They're protecting Nintendo. They're protecting Super Nintendo. They're protecting probably Nintendo 64. They're protecting GameCube, maybe Wii games. Who the hell knows? Wii U is being re-released and marketed as new. We all know that stupid thing. But the thing is... which they should have been like $30 games, but 60. The thing is... That is the issue with Nintendo. So always, and they've done this before. I mean, they're always late on delivering certain things, and then some other company takes their technology and perfects it and owns it. And it's really sad to see Nintendo always making the same stupid mistakes when the idiots that run the company should be completely fired, let go. Maybe it'll teach them a lesson in life, and have new people come in who actually deserve it, who understand what market research is, who understand how important the fans is. Obviously, I know they're worried about third party and the stockholders and all of that stuff. But here's a little thought, Nintendo. If you don't care about your people are the ones that give you the money. They're the ones that bring money into your business. They're the ones that make you attractive for stockholders, for third-party developers. If your customers are getting screwed and they're leaving, which is happening, as more Nintendo Switches than ever, used Switches, are being sold on eBay right now than ever was before, then you got an issue, because you're going to be left in the dust, and it's going to be another Wii U that everybody abandons. Right now, the sales are going good. Everything is going great. Continue, damn it. Take advantage of that. Release the Virtual Console. If anything, these hackers, if I had a company what I would do is work with the hackers to release things, probably even fund the hackers not to come out with ways to rip my games out, but do this to beat the competition. Say, hey, hackers, I'll give you money. Come out with a PlayStation 2 emulator. Come out with a PlayStation 3 emulator. If you remember, Dreamcast, Sega was so smart. They said, you know what? People are balancing between, Nintendo, PlayStation being backwards compatible and all that, the PlayStation 2. They said, you know what? We're going to pay off Bleem. If you remember, Bleem was an emulator for the PlayStation, one of the best emulators that I can tell you back in the day. And I remember it was available everywhere after it came out with a thing called Bleemcast, where Sega bought it and basically said, screw you, PlayStation. We have a way that now you could play on your Dreamcast, not only Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64 and all these games, not only all of these arcade games, but also, screw you, Sony, we got Sony on it. Okay? And it makes the decision that much easier to make. And that's really what it comes down to, Nintendo. You gotta, see what the heck is out there. And you're seeing that because you're not releasing certain things, or because you're breaking things, or because you're doing stupid things intentionally or not, you're getting backlash, you're getting screwed, and this is what it is. I mean, your quality control is non-existent. It's really proven. And right now, because of the Tegra chip, I don't know what genius and how you guys still have him employed for you. A guy who says, yeah, sure, just bring it aboard, even though it was a known fact that it had exploits. Common sense. Again, no research whatsoever. They're just like, yeah, we like this, put that in. I think it's... the thing is, and I'm from the old generation, but I'm talking about really older generation. They need to hire some new bloods, people in the ages of 40 to 50, or even 30 to 40, or 20 to 40. We need new blood, because new blood understands this. When you put old blood behind it, and I'm not being an ageist, because the old generation is the best, really, in my case. I've learned from the old generation a lot, and they're amazing, and I revere them, but the thing is, they do not understand that much about technology. And Nintendo looks to me like they're all a bunch of fogies who are stuck. Kind of reminds me of like Luddites, but like stuck in a certain way, and they don't want to learn anything new. This is what we're doing. We're gonna get the new concepts. We're gonna make a brand new system. We're gonna do this, but we're not researching anything. We just trust everyone. Yeah, put that Tegra sucker in there. It just seems so stupid. Their decision-making is so stupid. I mean, the release of WWE 2K18 is just proof of that. To try to make money off the holiday sales, to release it and screw over your customers. Brick systems, even intentionally or not. I believe it was intentional. But whatever. You guys could say whatever you want. The thing is, because they want, obviously, and I don't care how many millions, they don't want to do a public recall. What they want to do is basically say it's your fault, and you screwed up and bricked it, but don't worry, we'll give you another one. So we'll give you a revision 3 version of the system or whatever. The point is, this is the issue we're having right now with Nintendo. And Nintendo really needs to understand that. I don't blame them for shutting down the online for hackers. I mean, every system has done it. I understand you got to protect your product. But at the same time, look out for the customers, and they won't have a reason to hack. Think about it. Why would they need to buy even a docking station that was third party when you guys, if you guys marketed this correctly? To sell a docking station that looks like plastic junk, let's face it, people, and it scratches your damn system, okay? It's like so stupid. So to come out with something that stupid and charge $80 for it, I don't care if you lower it down to 70 or 60, it's still too much. This is plastic junk that costs you literally less than $3 to produce. Actually, even less. Made in China chips, you could clearly see it. And, or Taiwan, I forgot what it was last time I opened it. But the thing is, it is a foreign chip that doesn't cost anything to make. And you put it in plastic junk that any idiot could even print on his 3D printer. And to come out with that, well, SLA printers, of course. But the thing is, to come out with something like this and to charge that much money, again. And also, you're telling people now, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. You don't release any battery packs, any type of thing, a battery case, a battery pack, you're not giving them any options. You're not giving us, the fans, any options. So we're forced to go into these third-party which is money that you're losing. And then you say, you know what, screw you all, we're going to come out with an update and screw everybody's thing up. And yeah, you guys could debate all you want. Before that update, everybody had no issue whatsoever. And it was like the Nintendo reps have said, oh, it works with any type of USB-C, it's universal. Then they go, oh no, it's only a certain one. Okay, you're screwing your customers, and then you're saying it's your fault. Or my favorite, first you said, oh, it doesn't matter, just return it even if it goes over warranty. Now your warranty says no, they don't accept it, anything. They changed it. If it's your fault, which doesn't make any sense. Because whether it expires on a regular Nintendo dock station, which is already people have said it happened, it bricked. Or whether it goes to a third-party dock, you're not going to know anything because it has both. That voltage resets the chip. So again, how could they tell the difference? This doesn't make any sense. So Nintendo, good for you that you're blocking people from online. And there's another reason I like the blocking online part. Because a lot of people, when I played especially PlayStation 3, would cheat, would mod their games and make ruin the experience for everybody else. For the gaming community, which was ridiculous. In the PC world, we used to see that all the time with like a Boba Fett, if you guys remember, hacking device for the Diablo. And yes, I'm old school, so I'm going all the way back there. I'm sure there's obviously much more, which happened many, many times over. But it ends up destroying the quality for us gamers, the experience. So because of that, I always hated the hacking community for that reason. I didn't like that they were allowed to be online. So I'm happy that they're being blocked because they're going to ruin. Obviously, imagine Splatoon, or you're playing ARMS and some dude made himself immortal, or you guys saw like they had on PC, like I forgot what it was called. It was first-person shooters where they were taking people out, and you could shoot this guy 1,000,000 times and he won't die, and he kills you with one shot. It was so stupid. It was Arm of Brothers Arms. I don't remember, something like that. It always the cheating community ruins it for everybody. It's just so stupid. So I don't blame Nintendo for doing that, and I think that I actually give them props for that. But at the same time, I'm giving them some advice. Work on your customer service. Work on your quality control. You must work on your marketing research. Okay, your fans are screaming. They're being vocal. They're on every forum, calling you out on every little thing, and you're doing absolutely nothing. Okay, nothing. You're not listening to any customer. It kind of reminds me of, what was that? EA, if you guys remember. Like, they don't listen to their customers. They don't care. Pretty much they're still doing their stupid, gambling systems and all that crap. That's why I don't buy any EA games anymore. All of this nonsense that ruins the experience. And again, they don't listen to their customers, and it costs them big time, as you saw in Battlefront 2. The Star Wars. It cost them a lot. And that's exactly what's going on. And with, Shadows of Mordor and all of these things. So you got to understand that you always have to listen to your customer. That's all I got to say. Let me know what you guys think down below. As always here, self-funded in everything that I do. The only thing I ask is that you like this video, subscribe, share the video, and of course, hit that bell button for many more videos to come, especially very soon when I'm going to be releasing the mini-series. And also give me ideas if you want mini-series covered in anything. I pretty much do everything. Everything that's my weakness, I teach it myself to make it my strength. So I could do mini-series on anything to show you how everything is done and get it released, like I'm going to do with the helmet here, or how to build a gaming computer on the cheap. So as always, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and share. Have a good one, y'all. One love. Take care, y'all. Take care. Bye.